Hello everyone and welcome back to the Pride FT. FT stands for Football Thoughts. We are only 4 days away until the 23-24 Premier League season begins. And actually we're not 4 days, we're actually in like 2 days, but I mean, let's be honest, the season only starts when Chelsea play their first game, which of course is on Sunday against Liverpool at 4:30. The referee's just been announced and confirmed it is Anthony Taylor to react to such distressing news. I am joined by my illustrious co-host, Anis Clark, once again.
Hello, people. Yes, I'm also disappointed by Anthony Taylor. The last game we had with him as a referee for a Liverpool game. Was it the last one or the one before? Don't know. But yeah, all I remember is Reece getting a red card. So, not very good
is it that
reputation.
one? Was it that one?
Yeah, it's Anthony Taylor.
Where he was on the line and they shot and it bounced off his thigh.
I think it was the one before that. But either, no one likes Anthony Taylor. He is the worst ref in the Premier League, in my opinion anyway, in a lot of people's opinions.
Especially for us.
And he especially doesn't like Chelsea, and he seems like he doesn't like Liverpool either. So it's going to be a very ludicrous game, because it's just going to be red cards everywhere. So
everyone's getting shithoused.
It's going to be a madness because obviously you got to think it's the Premier League. You're sort of settling back in. You got to get the flow of the Prem as well, the competition, pre-match. Pre-season. Sorry, is obviously a little bit lighter on the old tackles and all that. You come into Premier League, it's a different kettle of fish. Especially two top teams as well. So it's going to be a hard one. But before we get into it, please like, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. And please join our Fantasy Football League. I'll put the code on the screen now. And, obviously I'm smoking everyone on there. No cap. What's your team looking like?
I was going to say, in terms of that, you seem quite confident.
Yes.
So far, I may make changes up until the deadline, which I think is the deadline is Friday at 6:30. So that's how long you've got to change your teams. I've got Nick Pope in goal. I've got Reece James, Sven Botman, Stones, and Saliba as my back four. I've got Bukayo Saka, Kevin De Bruyne, Martin Odegaard, and Enzo as my midfield quartet. And then up front, I had Nkunku and Haaland, but I have obviously had to change Nkunku to Jackson. We'll talk about more of that in a bit. And obviously, I have captained Haaland because you're just losing points if you don't.
Bro.
Goals. And then on the bench, I've just got a cheap bench: Areola, Estupiñán, Joe Willock, and Cameron Archer.
Very nice, very nice.
Yep.
I've got Ramsdale.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, Ramsdale. I've got Reece James, Hobbs. I've got Enzo, Jackson, Haaland, Salah, Son, other people, Trippier,
you've
and
got
all that stuff.
James, Stones, Trippier, White, Enzo, Salah, Casemiro, Son, Jackson, Haaland, Ramsdale. You've got two bright players on the bench. Archer.
I'm telling you.
It ain't bad, bro. It ain't bad.
There's a little Casado on the bench as well, so you never know. You never know.
On the bench.
Interesting. Very interesting. So please join our league. See if you can beat our teams. Obviously, the code. I'll just put the code in the description for the remainder of the season because it's just always there. Then so you can join and shit on us there as well. So anyway, should we kick it off?
Yeah, so let's move on then to the breaking news story of this today, of this week, and potentially of the season. Reece the Beast James is the new Chelsea FC captain. It was made official literally an hour ago by the Chelsea Twitter account and the website. It's been reported by Nathan Gissing that Ben Chilwell will be the vice captain. So back, left back domination. I mean, they've been our best players really for a few seasons. This is obviously fantastic news. Yeah, he's now confirmed as the Chelsea Football Club, this newest captain. I'll just read a little bit what it says on the Chelsea website. A boyhood Blues supporter, and he actually means it, who joined our academy at 6 years old. Reece was the club's standout choice to lead us on and off the pitch this season. There's a quote here from James. I'm so happy to take on the role and responsibility. I know I've got big shoes to fill because we have had huge captains here in the past, but I am excited. I've been at Chelsea pretty much my whole life. I started here when I was 6, and to come through the academy is tough, but to go on to become captain, it's a great feeling for me and my family. And then last but not least, head coach Mauricio the Aura Pochettino said, "This is a decision taken by me and the club. We are very pleased Reece will captain the side this season. Woof.
Happy days. I mean, it's really good for his dad as well. His dad was saying,
Nigel, yeah,
he'd love to see his son become captain. It's a shame what his daughter done at the weekend, but
we'll talk about that later on.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that later on. Yeah,
but so for that family, it's quite good news and quite bad news at the same time. So
what do you reckon this means then for our kind of squad dynamic this season? How do you reckon this changes things?
I think this is the start of this era.
Yes,
I think.
Yes,
obviously we had Azpilicueta. That was like an era. We had John Terry. That was an era. So it's like I think this is the start of rebuilding what we had, the ethos that what it is to be a Blue, and especially with James and then Ben Chilwell coming in from bloody Leicester a few years ago, and now he's vice captain. Love all that. He's an absolute Blue already. I'm loving it. Ben Chilwell even said like he wishes he could be captain, but he understands. I think he understands the dynamic and that Reece has been there longer, and it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But vice captains, that means obviously if James not playing, then Chilwell will be captain.
Yeah.
So love to see it. Bit miffed. I'm a bit miffed that Silva isn't vice captain.
Yeah. I think that this slyly might be a bit of an indication as to maybe Silva doesn't have a place in the squad this season.
I think he's going to be backed off a little bit.
Yeah, I'm thinking that clearly...
Not in a bad way.
No, but he's literally, 38 going on 39. He's already 479. Yeah, exactly. He's already, older than the sun. So he's a multi-billion-year-old cosmic entity. But yeah, I the signings of Disasi, who's 25, and all of the other young centre backs, we've got Levi Colwill coming into the fold. Exactly. I just feel like where is the space for Silva? Like really, Silva should not be starting ahead of the likes of Badiashile and Disasi and Levi Colwill.
But the space for Silva is on the training ground. I think the space for Silva is that coach, that leader in a way of teaching, like what's it from Kung Fu Panda?
Master Oogway,
or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I think it's like that.
Yeah, and I think that's right. I think that's right. I'm sure there'll be times where he can contribute, but it does very much seem like with all of this happening now, Reece getting the captaincy, Ben Chilwell reportedly getting the vice captaincy. As I said, he's pushing 40 years old. We've just signed we've got one new centre back and we've got another one who's come back from loan and has proved himself to be good enough to play.
Yeah.
It just looks as if Silva maybe kind of phase out of the squad, and that's okay, and that's normal with football. Not everyone lasts forever. And Silva was good, but to be fair, towards the end of last season, he was looking a bit ropey. Having said that,
he was looking ropey because we did play him absolutely every game. I swear to God,
he was playing way too much. So this will probably just be a much more staggered season for him, and he'll just play less and less, and that's normal.
Yeah,
for a player of his age. And you're right.
I think he's going to be coach as well.
He strikes me as a coach. He feels like a coach, doesn't he, Thiago Silva? The way that he conducts himself, like the length of his career, the stuff that he's done at other clubs. He strikes me as a coach, but But anyway, so Reece James, new Chelsea captain. I'm so buzzing for him. He's going to be a brilliant captain. Fingers crossed he can maintain fitness throughout the season and he can let his kind of influence as a captain kind of permeate throughout the squad for the whole season. That is fantastic news.
It is. Next up is Nkunku. We just mentioned it in a little our fantasy football league, but Nkunku has sustained a knee injury, which will rule out the forward for an extended period. The 25-year-old has undergone an operation and will now begin rehabilitation program with the club's medical department. Now, it's believed to be rumoured to be 16 weeks or maybe about 3.5 months ish. That's dependent. Upset. But what I'm hoping for, right, is Badiashile goes in there, listens, listen, lad, here's a bit of adamantium, right? Don't worry about it. Pay me back when you can, right? And then it'll be good in a week. It'll be fine. Mate, honestly, it's like something good, something bad, something good, something bad. It's over and fucking over again.
It's a real shame because Nkunku was looking like the player that was going to bring it all together for us and link all of these new exciting attacking players because he's just got that about him. It's what a fucking injury to get. And once again, it's another shitty fucking game in a crappy American stadium with a crappy pitch that does in one of our most important players. How many times does it have to happen? How many times does it have to happen before we realise it's not worth endangering the like, you know, I mean, every part of the season is important in the Premier League season. You have to win as many games as possible.
Yeah.
But we don't have him now for the first game against Liverpool, and he's the kind of player who wins you a game against the likes of Liverpool.
Mate, we haven't got him for 3.5 months. We haven't got him until like we haven't got. He's right. So 3.5 months for rehabilitation. So for him to be starting or even to be in our team again, you're talking after Christmas.
Yeah, I know. You're right.
He's missing half a season.
He's not even going to have proper fitness, is he? For ages.
He's missing half a season.
Oh,
so
man.
you know, and then you got to think of he hasn't played football for 4 or 5 months. He hasn't played in Premier League football, which is obviously a bit more endangering and a bit more fast-paced than normal training. So, you know, you've got to think of all these things. He's going to come back and look like a shell of a man that he is, because it's exactly the same as what happened to Ruben Loftus-Cheek. It's going to probably happen to Brozier. It's probably going to happen to fucking everyone. But what it is, right, is that I think he was going to take number 9, and the 9 curse has struck already, bro.
Struck him down.
That's what it is.
It's so upsetting. I mean, all I can say is a slight positive is that he had actually an injury on the same knee for Leipzig last season, and he came back around about the same time that he's expecting to come back this season. And he actually came in for the second half of the season and put a shift in, and apparently looked quite good. So fingers crossed, he's the type of player who doesn't need warm-up time, and he can recover from his injury and get back on the pitch and provide straight away.
It's so depressing.
It really is. I mean, it's one of those types of news stories, injuries that like literally so buzzing for the season. He was like one of the players I was kind of betting my excitement on. I was like, look, if we've got Nkunku in the team, I'm not too worried. I feel like we can really do stuff. And without him there, I feel like it seems a little bit less likely that we're going to.
It's a little bit less, but you know what? Jackson's gave me hope that we don't need always Nkunku. So if Jackson can step up to the plate, that little link up with Mudryk, something like that, you know, up front.
Yeah,
then
I guess
it's gonna be something. But we're just missing that. Like, I think Jackson's got it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Jackson's bad. I'm saying Nkunku has got that. I think he's got a bit more. What's it called? Intuition in the box. So it's just like, get a goal, doesn't matter, like put it in with your fucking toenail, it doesn't matter. Like as long as the ball goes in, which we've seen in preseason. But as I've always said for bloody ever, preseason is literally stupid. I can't stand it because these little injuries and people go way too hard, as we've seen this season especially, this preseason especially. A lot of people going way too hard for no fucking reason because they want to look like the fucking big man. I think it's absolutely pathetic. I think preseason just shouldn't exist.
Yeah, I mean, like I mean, preseasons are important for different reasons. I don't know how important the games are. I mean, certainly the training is, but I just don't think like it's not really viable. It's not really safe now, is it, to do you know, like 6-7 game American tour preseasons where you're flying around the country, you're going to all these dodgy stadiums. Like, wasn't the stadium that it was at? It was in Chicago, the Soldier Field. Soldier Field. Yeah, the pitch was an absolute joke. I mean, really, Chelsea should write into their like preseason contracts with these stadiums and these teams. We aren't playing you if this is not a good pitch, because our players are worth 1,000 times more than yours are, and so it's not worth the risk. But apparently, did you hear that there was an Ed Sheeran concert there like the night before or something, and the fans were allowed? Yeah, and the fans were allowed on the pitch, but they just chewed it up. So just terrible management and planning all around, and just, you know, really, bruv, we need to be suing people, because apparently that stadium is run, like the organization is run by like the Chicago, you know, like city council, I think, from what I've seen. So Chelsea need to get on a blower and be like, look, bruv, we are suing your ass. You owe us half a season's worth of amazing centre forward play. I don't know how you're gonna provide that, but yeah, half of his transfer fee, we want it now up front, 25 mil. Yeah, you fucking idiot. So anyway, a real shame to see Nkunku down and out for so long. Obviously, there are still chances for us to make signings, and we may get someone else in who will be able to kind of semi-take his place in the meantime. But
who though?
I know who. I know, you're right, who. Really sad, but we'll move on to the next story. Robert Sanchez
Yeah.
Brighton goalkeeper has signed. Well, he signed from Brighton for £25 million. A lot of moolah for this brother. Here's a quote from the tall bastard himself. Stamford Bridge has the history that it has, the legends it has created. I just want to be a part of that. Yeah, of course you do. By the way, Sanchez got replaced by a player who made one senior career appearance last season, Jason Steele. By the way, last season. So
wow,
pay attention to that. He had if you look at his metrics, his metrics of last season's performances, he was absolutely shocking.
I was gonna say he's no better than Kepa.
But basically not. So, the only thing that Sanchez brings us that maybe Kepa doesn't,
height.
He's tall as fuck. He's good at claiming in the air. He is a physical presence, which we have missed in goal. We didn't miss it with Mondi. I don't. Again, I mean, deals like
Mondi, man.
I know, man. I mean, deals like this make you think why we shifted Mondi so simply and easily just to sign another guy who's more expensive and not as good. I don't really get that in terms of squad planning. It's also worth noting that Sanchez kicked up a massive fuss last season because he wasn't getting paid. So he's not the kind of bloke who's going to be sitting on the bench. Seemingly. So what's the plan then? Is Kepa going? Definitely? Or
no, because Pochettino said that Kepa's in his plans.
Right. So this is what I mean about squad planning. I don't
have we just spent 25 million quid on a fucking bench?
That's what I mean. I mean, let's be honest.
It's just ridiculous.
In football squad building, spend your money on players who are better than the players you've already got. And the ones that are a bit worse, shift down the pecking order. You don't sign players who aren't as good as the guy you're trying to replace them with. That just doesn't make sense. You're just packing out your squad with expensive fucking bench warmers. It's just not right. I don't know. I'm not enthused by this move. It doesn't give me excitement.
I'd love to see his contract.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's like 10 quid a week with, incentive bonuses for clean sheets. I'm not really truly excited. Maybe this was a kind of ploy to soften up Brighton, to get rid of a player that they didn't want, so that the Caicedo move is a bit more possible. Maybe they'll drop their asking price for Caicedo. If I'm going a bit conspiratorial.
That's doing my head in that fucking deal.
Of course, I know. I mean, that's why we haven't put it in the notes, because we didn't even want to touch on it. But yeah, Sanchez, 6-year deal. He's here for a long time. Hopefully he's here for a good time. I don't really have much more to say about it. We're just going to have to keep an eye on him and see how he gets on.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not excited by it. It literally just spent near enough 30 million quid on a bench warmer. So I don't see him going in place of Kepa anytime soon, but we'll see what happens. Fulham are close to finalising a deal for Callum Hudson-Odoi. There is a growing optimism a deal can be struck within the next 24 to 48 hours. Hudson-Odoi is not in Pochettino's plans.
Yes. Sad news.
Yeah.
For me personally, for Cho.
I like him, man.
Yeah, a shining light, really, that came out of our academy and obviously, came to prominence during the Sarri season as an 18-year-old, looked absolutely electric. Literally, he was outplaying, was looking better than Pedro and William when he was playing. I mean, a super talented player with some really top quality kind of qualities to his game, top quality attributes that a lot of other players don't have. Obviously, though, as we mentioned before, man, he an injury, an unfortunate injury. I don't actually know if that was a preseason or a postseason friendly that he got injured in. I can't remember. But regardless, he got an ACL injury. Sorry, not ACL. It was an Achilles injury. Wait, that is ACL. Achilles tendon, isn't it? Oh no, that's anterior cruciate ligament. That's actually knee. Sorry, so he got an Achilles injury, which is a pretty serious one, and apparently kind of affects the way that you basically walk and run for the rest of your career. So, and that clearly had a major impact on his development and his ability to perform for us. He obviously went on loan to Bayern Leverkusen last season. Didn't tear up any trees, unfortunately. We kind of hoped that he might do a Sancho and absolutely dominate, but he didn't. It looks as if his kind of time at Chelsea is up. The fee is like 4 million quid or something ridiculously low. Something like that is what I've seen.
We just paid 25 fucking million for Sanchez, bro.
Yeah, I mean, and consider this as well. Obviously, at the peak of the transfer speculation for Hudson-Odoi. Remember when Bayern Munich was sniffing around him a few years ago? Apparently, that deal was willing to go up to 40 million euros. They were looking to pay for him because they rated him that much, and we declined it and gave him a new deal. I said, "Nah, brother, you're staying. You're going to be the future of the Chelsea." But as can happen at Chelsea, these things don't work out. And at least we can say our academy has produced another Premier League level player, and we have to be happy with that.
Another one,
because we are pumping them out left, right, and centre.
So pure profit. Crazy. We'll take it.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. Apart from the mad contract we've been paying him for the last few years.
Yeah,
God knows how much that was. I guess though, you don't think we'll miss him?
He didn't play, so
yeah,
no,
that's true.
But I'm sad that he's gone because he was a good player. He's not bad, obviously. So
yeah.
But yeah, good luck to him. I don't mind Fulham.
Yeah, I mean, West London team, obviously, just down the road from us. We're supposed to be a rivalry.
I'm supposed to hate them.
Yeah,
but shit.
They're just. I mean, did they beat us twice last season? I think they did.
They did, but that was last season, bro.
Yeah, true. That didn't count. That was a black hole.
Yeah. And plus, they haven't got Mitrovic now, so.
Oh, that's true. He wants to F off.
And Willian fucking carried them.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, very weird. Talking of effing off. Here we go by Fabrizio Romano, Cesare Casade to Leicester City on loan. Again, not much to say. Not much to say.
He wanted to go to Europe, didn't he?
He wanted to go to Genoa in Italy.
Yeah. It's Italy.
But I think Genoa is Serie A. I'm going to quickly Google it while I'm talking.
I think Leicester City, right? I think it's the best move because one, it's in England, so acclimatise. Two, they've only just got relegated. Championship is a very harsh league anyway. It's not an easy league. It's not an easy league. It's a very harsh league, and I think he's going to do well there. I think he's going to improve, greatly, and hopefully Leicester City can see success in that league, and then that gives him the little spur on to come to us next season and dominate for us. So I think it's a good move.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just looking up to see if Genoa and Serie A. They are this season. I think they got promoted by Serie B. Okay. Anyway, I agree. I think he seems like he would suit that. He played well at Reading. He was on loan at Reading like the last half of last season and looked all right in the Championship. So he can clearly put a shift in. He's going to somebody who used to work with Pep, which I guess is always exciting. Somebody with that kind of education and influence might help him and his game. But he just has to go. He has to put a shift in. He's got to score goals. He's got to show that he can muck it with the big lads in the Championship. He by all means he could come back into our squad next season and do the thing because he looked all right. He looked all right in pre-season. He didn't blow me away per se. I wasn't as impressed with him as I was with Martin, for example. No. But he looks like somebody who he's a big brute of a bloke. Yeah, he's big, isn't he? And he's solid. And he could be useful, but just not right now. Not right now. So Leicester City on loan. We'll be keeping a close eye on that. I think that'll be an interesting move.
Indeed. Chelsea are now actively working on the deal to sign Tyler Adams. Talks are ongoing with Leeds, and personal terms are being discussed. This is not linked with the pursuit of Moises Caicedo.
Yeah.
Anything on that?
I mean, he's an American, so watch out for that. Another one. But what I will say is that he probably is the best American. I think in terms of actual doing what he's supposed to do.
Right.
He's a midfield dynamo. He's very dynamic.
I've heard this before.
I know, but he's an athlete. He gets around well. He's not the most exciting passer. He doesn't really create anything, and he's not a danger from long shots or anything like that, or getting into the box. So he's not an all-rounder, I would say. He's definitely more of a disruptor than he is an all-rounder in the centre mid. Certainly not as much as Caicedo is. But apparently his buyout clause or something to that degree is 20 million euros, 20 million pounds. So, in this market, not that bad. Having said that, we have signed like it feels like we signed 10 players for 20 million this summer.
I swear to God, like 17 players.
And most of them are like Brazilian 15-year-olds, so make it make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a signing I'm going to, is going to jolt me and get me super excited. He's not tickling
me pickle.
No. And I feel like there must be other options in our squad that can do a job that Tyler Adams can do.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, there are lots of rumors that Trev Chalobah was going, but maybe. I swear to God, if he goes, I'm gonna be vexed. I know, but it makes me think. Well, forget about Tyler Adams. Just say, look, Chalobah, we've got too many centre backs. Can you? We want you to be our midfield disruptor, and he's got that. He can do that, and he can pass as well, and he can shoot, as we've seen him score really good long range goals. So, a very weird move.
Just to say on that shooting as well, in America, they've done a little. Don't know if anybody saw this. They were doing a American football test thing, and they were kicking the ball over the posts.
Yeah.
And Chalobah got all three.
Yeah, he's just a techie bloke, man. He's just
bowler, bruv,
bowler. So yeah, again, strange deal if you ask me. Squad planning seems weird with that one. I'm guessing maybe they think, we'll get 40 million for Trev and 20 million. It's a 20 million net profit, I guess. But
no thanks.
Nothing.
No thanks.
Yeah, nothing is confirmed yet. So something we'll have to keep our eye on.
We got more keeper news. What's going on?
Kepa Arrizabalaga is Thomas Tuchel's first option.
Yay!
First option for what, Brev? For being a waiter or his butler or something?
Being a paperweight.
Being a paperweight. Buying the world's most expensive paperweight. Bayern Munich and Chelsea are talking. This is via Matte Moretto on Twitter. The formula, translated from whatever, I'm guessing Italian, the formula could be a loan with a mandatory purchase option. In the next few days, Bayern plan to present a first official offer. I mean, this is a lot of transfer guff chat.
It is.
But Thomas Tuchel, bruv, keep doing your thing. Please keep doing your thing. I don't care if he goes out on a loan. Get it done. Get him out of the squad.
How much would you want for him?
At this point,
how much do you want for Kepa?
At this point, you'd be happy with 20, really, wouldn't you? A player who's still only like 28. I know he's the most expensive goalkeeper of all time, but he's also one of the worst goalkeepers of all time statistically in a season. So
we just paid 25 mil for Sanchez, bruv.
Oh, that's a good
point. I
point.
want at least 35 mil for Kepa.
All right, that is a good point. That is a good point. I'll give you that. I think we'd be very lucky to get that amount of money for Kepa. I don't think his reputation is that. He's not that. He's people don't want him that much. But maybe it is just a case of just loan him out for the last couple of years of his contract and then just shift him on, man, because nobody can afford his wages either. So he's not going to want to sign anywhere. He's going to have to go as a free agent and negotiate a higher, kind of salary because they won't have to spend a transfer on him. So that's what I reckon is going to happen. But again, nothing confirmed. It's all paper talk, but something I'd like to see happen. Something I'd like to see happen.
I want 40 mil.
40 mil sounds good. I want.
40 mil. Breaking news.
Whoa!
Breaking news. Hello.
Whoa!
Crystal Palace are closing in on a season-long loan deal.
Yeah.
For Lewis Hall. The move is expected to be confirmed inside the next 48 hours. I'm sad about this.
Yes.
I'm sad about this because Lewis Hall is a baller, bruv. He can play all the way up that left wing, sorry.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I just think about him like he is just quality. But it's a loan, so he's not getting sold. So
it is a loan. It is a loan, and I've seen it in other
Premier League.
It is, and we've had success with Crystal Palace loans. Think of Gallagher. Think of Loftus-Cheek. So it can work. I have also seen other news reports saying that he has signed a new long-term deal for us, a 6-yearer with a 1-year extension option on that as well. So that's obviously promising. It's basically saying, yep, you're in our long-term future. We can see you're incredibly talented, but we don't have space for you this season, so you need to go out on loan. I always find it weird. I feel like he's clearly good enough to play in the first team. I mean, all the games he played last season, most of them were against bloody Man City, and he bossed it. He looked fine.
Yeah.
So he's clearly good enough to play in Premier League football and play against the best teams. But if he plays every game of this season and he puts a shift in and he shows maybe he shows people in management that, look, I can do it for a whole season.
Yeah.
I've got the
I'm
stamina.
the Donny, bruv. You know what I mean?
I've got the stamina. I've got the tech. I've got the schoolboy looks. He's still only 18, so he doesn't have to get into our team straight away. But it's exciting when they do. But I think all in all,
country roads take me home.
Exactly, and then he'll come back and he'll dominate for us. That story, by the way, was via Sammy Mokbel, who I believe is a football writer for the Daily Mail. So
okay, so you can take that with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, true.
What's going on with
more news?
Yeah,
more loan news. Angelo Gabriel, our young Brazilian dynamo, we signed from Santos in the summer, has joined our feeder club now, our new feeder club, RC Strasbourg, on loan for this season. A decent Ligue 1 side. The new ownership group are pumping money into Strasbourg. They've improved their squad in many key areas. I believe they've got a new promising centre-back and other players as well. So good for him. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully he has a good season and can show what he can do in Europe. Ligue 1 is a good league to play in. It's very, it's quite similar to England, really, in its like kind of technical and physical kind of standard. So
I think it's a good feeder. I think it's a good feeder club for many of these players that are going to be going.
It's ideal because it's not so big a club that you have to be a baller straight away. You're going to have time to develop, and because ultimately, and it's a bit weird, but this is how football is nowadays. Because ultimately Chelsea is the priority in the club network. His development is going to take a front seat. Like it won't be like, well, why? As another club, it won't be like, well, why am I going to like put time and effort into developing your player? I don't give a F.
Yeah.
Which is what's happened to us before. I remember with Charlie Musonda when he went on loan to Celtic under Brendan Rodgers, and apparently like there was a kind of little deal set up, said, look, you got to play him, and then Brendan Rodgers didn't play him, and we got pissed off because it was like, what was the point of that? So anyway,
Brendan Rodgers anyway.
Yeah, he's gone back to Celtic. The fucking prick. Talking of
pricks, how do you feel about João Felix?
Nah, bro, bin him.
He is open to returning.
Of course he is.
No change in the situation yet.
Right, and there's good reason for that, because the guy's a bum. All right, I'm sorry.
Whoa,
he is the ultimate.
Big word, you know.
He is the ultimate.
Fuck.
What's that?
I don't know why I've said that.
He is the ultimate. What you would call
showman,
showboat, a vibes baller.
Vibes baller.
We were obviously very impressed with him when he came in last season. I'm not going to pretend I wasn't buzzed by him, but let's be honest, he scored like 3 goals in his time here. Most of the games he didn't really impact the way we wanted him to. You have to also remember he would be on fucking mental wages. I'm talking near 300 grand a week.
I was going to say, we're not in Saudi now, mate.
Exactly. He would not be cheap. He's not worth the outlay, especially considering we've just kind of rejigged our kind of wage structure.
Do you think
he doesn't offer enough?
Do you think he would link up with Jackson?
I'm sure he would. I'm sure he would, but the problem with him is he's got too big of an ego and he's too selfish. And there were so many times last season where he would just like get the ball on the edge of the box and just fucking release it, and it would get blocked, or it would you know what I mean? And it's like, obviously that in that season for us, it was like, oh, fair enough. At least someone's having a go, because we were bereft of attacking talent. And that really was a high point for us, which is saying something about how bad that season was. But, in a proper functioning team that is drilled properly and have got, stamina and they want to press, he just wouldn't work for us. Just like he isn't working at Atletico, he doesn't fit that mold. He needs to be given the license to just do whatever he wants. And I'm sorry.
You're not that guy. He strikes me as like a PSG player.
You're not that guy, pal. Exactly. He's a perfect PSG player. He's got lots of tech. He's very floaty and flary, but he just doesn't have enough end product. And so I can't co-sign him coming back.
So what else is happening? What's the next one?
Santos have accepted a €15 million plus €5 million in add-ons from Chelsea for David Washington. David. I mean, it's a David that's spelled Deivid, which might be David.
You know what? They just wanted to be posh there, didn't they? They were just
It's
like,
Brazilians,
we'll
man.
call him David, but it's different.
Yeah, Brazilians have got like strangely like Anglophile names, but they've just slightly remixed them to make them sound a bit more exotic.
David.
David Washington has agreed a long-term contract with the Chelsea, apparently.
17 years.
Yes, 17-year contract, which will take him through to 35 years old. A decision will be made soon on whether or not he will join RC Strasbourg on loan. This is via Fabrizio Romano.
Let's be honest.
He's 18. Apparently, he's got a bit of the Benzemas about him.
Off to Strasbourg. Go on.
He's got a lovely touch, a lovely finish. He's a big bastard. And apparently when the Santos fans...
big bastard.
He's quite big, apparently, for his age. And when the Santos fans found out he was potentially leaving, they were very upset, which is normally a good sign.
That is a good sign. That is a good sign. For 20 million for an 18-year-old.
I know, and we keep doing that. We've done that quite a lot.
Yeah,
so
we've got a lot of trust.
We do. I was going to say, we are putting a lot of trust in many young players.
I'm hoping either they become ballers and play for us for a long time, or we can make some sort of profit off these kids because we've got so many of them now.
Yes.
But yeah, off to Strasbourg. Show us what you got.
Ciao.
We'll keep a little eye on you. I know that it's not sure whether he's going to join Strasbourg or not. I bet your bottom dollar he is. So I think that's it for the transfer news. But we've got one big one. We got one big one, right? And it's not me, right? We got one big one, and it's our sponsor. That's our front of shirt sponsor. So we're going to be sponsored by OnlyFans, right? So there was right. I'm going to go through this. So there was rumors about we was going to get sponsored by an adult site called My.Club, which is like some OnlyFans ripoff. Where are they getting £40 million from? I do not know. But the CEO was chatting shit like, oh yeah, Chelsea creators can go on it, and Chelsea players do stuff on there as well. I'm like, we would not join that, bruv. You go onto the first page, it's just all tits everywhere. So it's not good, bruv. So thank fuck we haven't got that, because we'd be the laughing stock of the Prem.
That'd be so embarrassing.
I'm sorry, but if the community, the memes would be great, but the community is like, we said no to the betting, to the gambling people, stake. So why the hell would we allow this? Yes. Anyway, it's not turned out like that. Thank God, another sponsor has come in, a very newly developed sponsor called Infinite Athlete. So they're a company that basically is sport technology. And they come with a deal on the table to come new front shirt sponsor. The club are yet to comment on or offer confirmation, reported to be a £50 million deal, which will make us the third highest paid sponsor on the front of the shirt for the season.
In the world or in
the Prem?
Yeah. Well, one of those is fraudulent, we know anyway, don't we? Like the Man City one doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly. So, saying that, this one might not count. So, so this is, it's a combination of different groups. I think it's only a new merger, but I've done a little bit of research here. So, all their socials are brand new. They haven't got we've got more followers than them. Like, it's nuts, right? So, it's not good. Their YouTube's got like 25 subs with no videos. I think their Twitter, as soon as it got announced, it's obviously gone up now. But at the time when I looked at it, it was only on 500 followers with a couple X's. I don't know what they're called now. X's? Tweets? X's? I don't know what they're called.
Posts. They're just called posts.
Just posts.
Fucking so boring.
So they only had a couple of them. Instagram, absolutely fuck all on there. So I went onto their website and I've done a little bit of digging, So
hello.
Basically on their website, it just chats bollocks of what they're doing, like 200 words of crap. So I don't know if you remember, but in pre-season we had, it was like BT Sport, but for like Chelsea games on the Chelsea app. And we actually said that in the podcast. Yes. Now, they are like sort of like a merger of that. So it's Tempest X Machina and they're forming a 7-year partnership to power the innovative technology enhancements for the club and our global fan base. Load of bollocks, basically made up to sponsor us, because I tell you what, you go onto their partners, and the partners are all capital investment groups. And guess what? One of them is called Silver Lake.
Yeah.
And Silver Lake is owned by Clear Lake. And who owns... who does Clear Lake partially own? Chelsea Football Club. Look at that. So, I'm looking at the links here, and it might be a bit of a Man City cop-out deal. And, we've gone, it's 50 million back into the pockets of ourselves. So, I don't know. But, you know what? I don't care, because the logo looks good.
Yeah, the logo does look bloody good, doesn't it? You are right.
It looks good.
Yeah, man. Very weird, very strange.
It's so weird. And out of the blue, and a deal to be done very quickly, and all of their socials to be brand spanking new. And the website is brand spanking new, because you can see when a website is created. Yeah. And it's literally only just been created. And I'll tell you this, Matt, I do web design as well. It's literally a template. It's not custom. They've thrown a template on, and it's just the same shit. You go onto their partner websites, it's exactly the same stuff. All of their stuff is capital investments, and they all use the same fucking template. It's like money laundering, but on a massive scale through multiple companies. Yeah. And I am here for it.
Wow. Okay. Bloody hell. Yeah. Let's just let's just run it back. You know what I mean? Let's just do you know what I mean? If City are going to do weird shit, let us do weird shit as well. Man. A very strange deal that's just come out of nowhere. As you said, this is a very, very new situation, a very new company with zero history. I don't know how they'll pass the Premier League kind of like vetting process. For sponsorships, I don't know how they would, to be honest.
Brown envelopes.
Yeah, cheeky brown envelopes. But I mean, based on the mock-ups I've seen of their logo on the shirt, it looks all right.
It does. So, I'm hoping that it's in gold.
Yes,
if it's in white, it's going to look a bit ting. Yeah. But if it's in gold, mate, it'll look popping.
So we'll keep an eye out for that, I guess, and how that develops. Nothing is yet confirmed. This news is coming via Matt Law, who actually is very well connected with the club, or used to be anyway, with the old regime. Worth keeping an eye out for. But fingers crossed we can actually have someone on our shirt. By the time we play the game this Sunday, because
we're not. So even if it goes through, we're going to have no sponsor on our shirt for this Sunday.
Ooh. Really? Right. Okay. Yeah. Gosh. Right. Fair enough. So, cool. That's funny then. So
it's going to be the. God. I can't remember the last time I've seen a game with someone without a sponsor.
The thing is, it's not even like
it's embarrassing.
I can't even remember the last time it happened to Chelsea. Because I've never been alive, and that has happened. I don't think. I can't remember. It's never happened with a Premier League club. I'm sure.
I can't think of one. Think of one.
I'm sure. We're going to be playing someone random.
We're going to be playing our first Premier League game without a sponsor, and the shirts still aren't on sale. So everyone in the crowd is going to be in last year's stuff.
Going to be wearing their pajamas. Yeah, fair enough. So a story we'll keep a lookout for. Fingers crossed we can get the money through the door, and that might give us some money towards Caicedo deal. So moving from one shirt feature to another important shirt feature.
Turn it around.
The official Chelsea squad numbers were announced on the. They were announced yesterday, actually. I'm going to run through the list now. I'll be as quick as I can. Chelsea's 2023-2024 squad numbers in full. Number 1, Kepa Arrizabalaga. Number 2, Axel Disasi. Number 3, Mark Cucurella. Number 5, Benoit Badiashile. Number 6, Thiago Silva. Number 7, Raheem Sterling. Number 8, Enzo Fernandez. That's class. Mihailo Mudryk takes number 10. Noni Madueke, number 11. Number 13, Marcus Bettinelli. Number 14, my number, Trevor Shaloba. Number 15, Nicholas, I want to avoid the number 9 curse, Jackson.
I'm sorry,
Number
Miss
16,
Jackson.
19-year-old midfielder, just signed for Rennes, Leslie Ugo Chukwu. Number 17, Carney Chukwuemeka. Number 18, Christopher Nkunku. Number 19, Armando Broja. Number 20, Andre Santos. Number 21, Ben Chilwell. Number 23, Conor Gallagher. Number 24, Reese the Beast, Captain James. Number 26, Levi Colwill. Nice. Number 27, Malo Gusto. Number 29, Ian Martson. Number 31, Robert Sanchez. Number 33, Wesley Fofana. Number 37, Mason Burstow. Number 47, Lucas Bergstrom. Number 50, Eddie Beach. And number 67, Lewis Hall.
Okay.
So that is a comprehensive run through of all of the numbers. Obviously, numbers that aren't currently being represented are number 9, obviously. Quite
number
importantly,
4.
number 4 is a sick number that's not being represented as well. We also don't have a number. Where is it? 12, which is what Ruben Loftus-Cheek had, and so on and so forth. No one's taken 25. I don't think anyone's taken 25 since Zola left the club, actually, which is quite interesting.
So I need to discuss this. I really liked Enzo as number 5.
Oh, really?
I really liked it. I don't know why, it just suited him.
Yeah, I hear that.
I get where 8's coming from.
Yeah.
I like 8. Obviously, I like
That's
8.
Cool, isn't it? Come on. Right? Enzo in 8. Come on.
Enzo in 8. It is good, but I don't know. Enzo just fitted number 5 for me.
Yeah.
Benoit going number 5. What was he before? I can't remember.
I don't remember at all.
Yeah, I can't remember. Anyway, Benoit going number 5 is going to look a bit weird. But yeah, Sterling being number 7, don't know about that. Mihailo Mudryk being number 10. I mean, there you go. Hazard's replaced.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Hopefully, he's more number 10 Hazard than number 10 Pulisic.
Yeah, hopefully, just a little bit. We've gave numbers to Lewis Hall, but he's going. You got where was I? Nkunku's number 18, but obviously he's injured.
Mm-hmm.
I like that Jackson's 15. I like maybe it means something to him. I don't know. I'm guessing so.
Yeah.
Because obviously he would be like a number 9 because Nkunku's not in.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy. No number 9 curse.
Drogba joined and he was number 15 when he joined.
He was, and then he went to number 11, which is Madueke.
Yeah.
So a little bit of both.
Keep an eye on that.
Keep an eye on that. So yeah, I'm happy with the numbers. To be fair, it's just going to be a bit of getting used to. I think. That's what it is.
Number 26 for Levi Colwill.
Yeah,
John Terry's number. That's a bit cheeky.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Who was it? Who did we just get rid of?
Koulibaly.
Thank you, Koulibaly. Had that whole video of him getting permission off of Terry. I wonder if Cole will talk to him or anything like that, because obviously Terry's back at the club now. So
True.
I wonder if he's gone. Oh, can I take 26?
Yeah.
I think Terry's just not asked. He's
clearly he's
do
not
what you
want.
want.
It's like, we're not Americans. Like we don't retire numbers like they do in the NBA.
Well, the thing is, they do it in racing as well. So.
Oh, do they? What in F1? You mean?
F1 and MotoGP. They retire numbers. So, for instance, Valentino Rossi, number 46, has been retired. And you're not allowed to go for
well,
46.
anyone.
That's it. It's retired for life. That is his number.
Wow.
No one can. I'm sorry, but anyone that comes into that sport now cannot overtake Rossi in anything. Yeah. You can get more championships. You can have more wins. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You will never be the Doctor. All right. So anyway. That's that. So yeah, it's not like we retire numbers, So
yeah, we just don't do that shit.
Yeah. Wesley Fofana being number 33. Was he 33 last season? I think he was, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
But he's injured. So
yes,
everyone's injured.
Just another injury, for God's sake.
Yeah. So what is next? That's the squad numbers. Is that it for the team?
I believe that's it. Yeah, I believe for the club news, I think. We've been going for nearly an hour already with the club news. Just going to show how much happened.
So much.
Hey, every week after the show, don't we say to each other, it'll probably be a quiet week in it because there's not much. It's only the summer, but Mad shit happens every day, and we have to talk about it. What we're going to do? Ignore it? No, we're not. But we'll move on to the women's, and we should say, obviously, the women's game is currently big, basically, because it's the World Cup, it's the Women's World Cup, which is happening now, and the games are getting bigger and more impactful every single day. 11 Chelsea players have made the World Cup quarterfinals.
Indeed.
And obviously, I mean, that shows just how good our squad is, basically. Obviously, though, the main story, the big story for us in terms of the Chelsea women, is our star player and England star player, Lauren James, went from hero to zero after she was given a straight red card in England's last 16 tie against Nigeria. Did you see it?
It was horrendous. It was
so daft. I mean,
it's so stupid.
The actual movement wasn't that aggressive, but it was just so obvious, wasn't it?
Yeah, like she didn't play it off. It was literally like what? And again, why? Like you're representing your country.
Yeah.
You're in the last 16, and it's like you're against Nigeria, good team, very good team.
Yeah.
And you've done this, and it's just embarrassing.
Yeah, it was
as a Chelsea player as well. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I guess if we're being kind, we'd say, well, she's 21. 21?
21?
And so, you're young.
No, I'm sorry. No.
But hey, look, David Beckham did the same thing, and he went on to have a good career because he got sent off against Argentina, didn't he, in the World Cup as well?
True, but I think it's different because the men's game, I think, is more aggressive. I think it's more...
I don't know, man.
Violent.
These women players they put it about majorly. About Nigeria were absolutely bodying us, man. They were. I was really impressed with the way they played, and they were unlucky to go out, really. And really, England were lucky to get through. And England actually haven't been very convincing, apart from that game against China.
Yeah,
they've not really looked good. Obviously, though, as I've just mentioned, the Lionesses still go through. They did win on penalties in the end.
Yeah.
They will face Colombia in the quarterfinals. They knocked out Jamaica, who also surprised the world by getting as far as they did. It's likely that James will miss the rest of the tournament, as she'll most likely receive a 3-match ban for a straight red. So if England did get to the final,
twat.
Yeah, you can't play, which is that is a real killer unless they do a final. So they play the final. They decide, do you know what? We need a finals final.
Oh, right. Okay,
which they've never done before because it doesn't exist. But if they do, Lauren James might be able to play. But she won't be able to play anyway because I'm chatting shit.
No.
Hannah Hampton, Millie Bright, Jess Carter, and Niamh Charles all will go through with England, however. Zecira Musovic puts in a worldy performance for Sweden in goal to dump out the USA.
Good.
Joanna Reuting Kanjered joins her with Sweden as well. Annick Nuven goes through with the Netherlands. Maika Hamano is into the quarterfinals with Japan as well. She's yet to make an appearance, however. Sam Kerr goes through with Australia, who will face...
Is she actually playing?
She played a little bit of the last game. She's just come back from her injury. She will face Eve Perisset's France in the quarterfinal tie, and that is all of the women
who bodied, bro.
Yeah, who are going through. In terms of stuff back at home, players are returning for pre-season and are training. I've seen pictures of Sam Kerr and others. Chelsea have also signed an American centre-back by the name of Mia Fischel.
Mm-hmm.
She's a 22-year-old. She's pinned a 3-year deal for Chelsea until the summer of 2026. Fischel makes the move to London from Liga MX Femenil, the highest division of women's football in Mexico, where she has represented Tigres since January 2022.
Okay.
So
it's promising.
Yeah, I mean, not much to say about her. I can't say I've ever seen her play or anything she's ever done, or even a compilation. But hey,
couldn't even tell you her hair color, mate.
No,
but we believe in the process.
We do, and it's another signing, and the Chelsea women have been very, very well back this summer. So fingers crossed for another strong season.
So Chelsea Academy, the youth. Chelsea Academy preview piece dropped from Chelsea Youth the other day.
Yeah, worth looking out for. It's on Twitter. It's just basically just a full run through.
Sorry, what's Twitter, mate?
Oh, sorry, I mean X. Yeah, good little post, lots of information about players to look out for, games to look out for, that kind of thing. So worth reading if you want more details. It take us ages to read through it all here, obviously. Ex Academy product, Ola Aina, had a podcast interview that dropped on Monday from the Beautiful Game podcast, which is quite interesting, talking about like a West Ham transfer saga, what it was like to be under Mourinho and Conte, playing in Italy for Torino and that kind of thing. I believe Aina is now back in England playing for, let me just double check, playing for...
Someone. Come on, you can do it.
Nottingham Forest.
There we go.
Wow.
Okay then.
I did not see anything about that news. He's a new signing. Okay. Well, good for him. He's a great player.
Fair enough.
I don't know if "great's" the right word, but he's a good player. He's still only 26. Every time he played for us, he looked all right. So anyway, just another Premier League quality player that our academy has produced. But anyway, if you are interested in him, sorry, there was a fly in front of my screen. If you are interested in Ola, go and look that up because it's quite an interesting watch.
Chelsea under 18s went down to a narrow 2-1 defeat against Man City and will welcome them in a return clash at Cobham next week, with neither side in action on the opening weekend of under 18s Premier League. Chelsea Development completed their pre-season schedule with a 7-0 win versus the Phoenix All-Stars Academy, with Jimmy Morgan, Brody Hughes, Ben Elliott, and Joe High among the goal scorers. Blackburn in the Premier League 2 up next on Friday at Kings Meadow.
That team, by the way, the Phoenix All Stars Academy, is where we got Dujuan Whisper Richards from.
The Whisper.
So hence why that must have been in the deal. So under 18s Premier League will kick off soon, and so will the PL2. So we'll actually have some results to talk about this time. Obviously, because he keeps our youth section running, we do have to send credit to Chelsea Youth on Twitter because he's literally the font of all knowledge, and so I go to him every single time. Now then.
Rival watch. Ex-Chelsea Academy Player of the Year, Tino Livramento, signed for Newcastle from Southampton for approximately £40 million.
Woofers.
Thank you very much.
Good
you're
for
welcome.
him.
Yeah,
good for him.
Welcome.
We are welcome. Another one. Another academy player who's now deemed, a top quality Premier League player. Baller as well. Obviously, Academy Player of the Season in 2021. Looked as if he might break into the squad. Unfortunately, he was dealing with a Reece James-sized obstacle, which is tough to get.
It's quite a big
one. He then went to Southampton, I think for like 8 million or something. It was pretty good at that point.
So they've made profit on it.
Had a fantastic start to his career there. Unfortunately, got a pretty serious injury, which has kept him out for a long time. I don't think he's played Premier League football for like a year, maybe a year and a half. So that's a bit peak.
Newcastle, 40 million quid is mad.
Yes,
and it's a top team.
It is a top team who are in the Champions League. It's also apparently there's also a fairly hefty percentage on the sell-on fee as well. So we will probably make back like 5-10 million for that deal. So we'll take that all day long. Good luck to Tino. Don't play against us, and if you do, don't play well. But always excited to see our academy players go on to big and bright things.
It is David Raya deal sealed between clubs. It's where's he come from?
Brentford.
Thank you. That's the one, Brentford. Medical tests booked on Thursday. Then he will be unveiled as an Arsenal player. Here we go. Confirmed by Fabrizio Romano again. So, that's him. Nice little player there. I don't know how much it was.
I mean, he's all right. He's all right. I mean, he's a bit like Sanchez for me. He's got quite a big reputation, or a semi-decent reputation. But I don't know if he's actually like proper top goalkeeper quality.
Yeah, I'm not too
and
sure.
the difference between Raya and Sanchez as well is that Raya's like 6'1",
Right.
and I never like the idea of a keeper who is not tall as fuck, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 183 meters. That seems short, bro.
Bruv, I'm taller than him. What the fuck?
Yeah, it might make it make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
According to Google, that's 6 foot on the dot. So
6 foot on the dot for a goalkeeper.
Yeah, I'm not happy with that.
Okay, we've got centre backs bigger than him.
Even Kepa's taller than that.
Yeah,
so
what the fuck?
Hopefully he flops. Interesting though, what this means about Aaron Ramsdale. Like, do they?
That's just going to be a bench sign. It's got to be a bench signing.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, I'm not bothered if
Ramsdale's a
Arsenal
good
waste
player,
their money.
man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
he is.
I'm not asked.
But yeah, we'll see. I guess we'll see if that actually happens.
What's going on with Man City and West Ham?
Manchester City and West Ham remain in contact to discuss Lucas Paquetá deal, despite £70 million verbal bid rejected. West Ham hope to keep the player, but aware of Lucas's desire to join City. Told including players in the deal could be an option to be discussed soon. This is the kind of news story that broke today.
£70 million quid.
Yeah, not much in it. I don't know what the market's saying. If someone like Paquetá is worth 70 million, and that's the kind of deal that you can turn down for someone like him, I find that mental.
Honestly, it's mental.
But I guess they're thinking, well,
I'm telling you, Basmati Rice has ruined everything.
Yeah, he has.
He really has, and this whole economy, everything in football is just fucked. We need rules around this so quick.
The value proposition around Premier League's midfielders is now just a mess.
We need stat-based values. We need, percentages of goals equal a percentage of money, percentage of everything else. I think it should be stat-based because this is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
West Ham are loaded, by the way. What the fuck are they even? But who have they bought?
No one. That's the funny thing. They ain't bought no one. They're selling Scamacco. They bought last season back to Italy because that's what always happens with West Ham. I don't know what's going on over there. David Moyes must be pulling his hair out because they've just received their biggest ever transfer fee for a player, and they're doing nothing with it. I have seen tentative talks that they were interested in Martson. And that they were also interested
They're not getting Martson,
in Gallagher, but it ain't happening, Brev. Let me tell you
right
now. It's not happening.
Go fucking sniff somewhere else, you cunt.
So we'll keep an eye on that deal. Deal. Paquetá's a decent player. Don't really know how he'd work at Man City, but he probably would because good players can play in any team. Officially confirmed today, Gary O'Neill, ex-Bournemouth manager, has been appointed as Wolves to replace Julen Lopetegui, who walked out, left by mutual consent from Wolves after only 9 months in the job. This is a guy who used to be a manager of Spain, and I think had also managed bloody Real at one point. So he was a manager with great pedigree on the continent, but clearly not enough to keep him at Wolves. And so he walked, and Gary O'Neill has come in. And what an interesting thing to happen 3 days before the season starts.
It's fucking mental.
I thought our club was a basket case.
That's just fucking true Wolves mentality, that is.
That's just
Wolves just do this shit.
I don't know what that's all about.
Back to West Ham. West Ham are now waiting to have formal authorization to start discussions over personal terms with none other than Harry the Slabhead Maguire.
Slabhead.
Man United want clarity over the deals. Want clarity over the details of the deal, the structure, payment terms. After the fee agreed earlier for 30 million quid.
Woofers.
Bruv, I'm sorry, they bought him for 80 million. He scored a few own goals, and now you're getting rid of him for 30. Fucking nuts.
Yeah, I mean, like us with Kepa, came in for a massive overinflated fee, massive contract, massive
ridiculous
wages, was never going to live up to the hype, could never, and just doesn't belong at a club who wants to keep the ball and move the ball. And he's just a bit of a donor, unfortunately.
I can't stand him.
No, I know, because another annoying thing is that he always starts with bloody England as well, because Gareth Southgate's a tit. Even if he doesn't play, even when you've got much better players like Fikayo Tomori available, but there we go.
Yeah.
I mean, West Ham seems like a good place for him to go, though, to be fair.
Fucking go, bruv. Who cares?
You know what I mean?
Fuck on.
But
as long as he's not nowhere near us, fuck that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I can't stand Slabhead. I think I'm a better fucking baller than him, to be honest. And I'm probably triple his weight, but probably about the same height as him, though. How tall is Harry Maguire?
I don't know. He'll be about 6'2", and he's 6'1", 6'2".
I'm 6'4", so
he's a big northern bastard. Let's end then on this bombshell news that I just saw.
On another big bastard.
Yeah, just as we were about to start, Ross Barkley has joined Luton Town.
What a signing that
He was reduced from Nice in June and has gone on to join the Hatters. He's gone on to join Luton in their first season in the Premier League.
I love it. He's a quality player.
He is a good player. I think, under the right management system in a more functioning team, he would have been all right. And he had some good moments for us.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And he did show sparks of quite impressive footballing techers, but it just didn't quite work out for him.
I think he'll do well in Luton because obviously he's been in the Prem for bloody yonk, so he's got experience. He'll guide people.
Yeah, he's a bit of a big fish in a small pond, isn't he?
Exactly.
I would implore everyone to go and find the announcement tweet from Luton with Ross in, because the guy looks so afraid,
uninterested.
No, he looks so. He looks like he looks like that. He literally looks so unsure about himself being. He's like, oh fuck me, I can't believe I'm at fucking Luton.
Luton Town, bro.
He's in the Premier League. He's got a chance to put in a good season, maybe get himself a deal. He'll probably end up back at Everton or something daft like that.
He'll probably end up in the Championship along with Luton.
Yeah, exactly. Good point.
That's that.
But there we go.
I think that's it. I think that's it for this week. We look forward to the Liverpool game in 2 days and
4 days. Sunday.
2 days. Well, it's going out on Friday. So
true.
2 days.
Sorry. True.
So it's going to be absolutely amazing just to get back into it, man. Can't wait. I'm hoping to smash them.
Bussing. It's going to be bussing.
So please like, subscribe, comment, other stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing pre-season. We're going to be doing pre-match previews as usual. We're going to do reactions as usual. We're going to try and get some live streams on the go. Whatever. So yeah, please look forward to that and the amount of crap we talk in the future. So I think that's it. Thank you for watching. I've been Clark, aka Yogi, and my illustrious co-host has been Bo with the funny eyes.
Oh, I'm Batman.
Okay, my illustrious co-host has been Batman.
Goodbye.
Jesus Christ! And as always, up the chairs.
In Batman.
Fuck's sake.
Thanks for listening to The Pride. If you enjoyed what you heard, feel free to leave us a review on your podcast app of choice, and maybe drop a like or follow on our YouTube, Twitter, TikTok and Instagram pages. And as always, up the Chels.